Hey everybody, C. Rogers here with C. Rogers Media, and today we have a question from Gilbert Garcia via Facebook. Gilbert asks, I have a problem with the circle tool. I'm not able to make a full circle anymore. The only thing my circle tool gives me is invisible. Can someone let me know how I can get my circle tool back to how it was before? Well, Gilbert, this is actually a pretty common problem. You draw a shape and it's not there. So what's going on? Generally speaking, there are about 6 things that could be the case. The first one is that there's no fill or stroke. Second one is object opacity is set to 0. 3, the fill color alpha could be set to 0. 4, object is masked. 5, the layer is hidden. And finally 6, object settings are messed up. So let's go through each one of these and I'll show you how to remedy the situation. So our first problem might be if we draw a circle and it's invisible, that the fill and stroke are set to none, you can see. So how we fix that is we just click on a swatch. Any color swatch will do it. And now all the subsequent circles that we draw are in that same color. But what if we have our color set, our fill color set, and it's still not showing? Well, you can see here, in this case, the O, which stands for opacity, of our circle is 0. So we can either right-click on that and choose 100%, or we can actually type 100% into there, and all of a sudden we've got our circle back. But let's say even that's not working, and we've got still our invisible circle here, we've got our fill set to red, opacity set to 100%, but it's invisible still. What's going on? Well, you'll notice that here we've got kind of an interesting situation where it's like half red and half checkered. That checkered is the alpha, or the transparency of the color. So if we double click on this, we can see that our last entry here, alpha, is set to 0. And you can see if we move this up, it changes the opacity of the actual color that's in the object itself. So now we have our visible circle back. So maybe it's still not working. Maybe I'm drawing a circle and everything's fine, but my circle isn't showing up. What could be happening is you see these little scissors by the group here in your layers and objects dialog. That means that this is a clip group. So if I then take this and move it around, you can see it's actually clipped to this shape, this rectangle shape. So to remedy that, you can actually just take your shape out of there, and then all subsequent shapes that you draw are going to be outside of that clip group as well. Another thing that can happen if we have an invisible circle, or we can't actually use the circle tool to draw anything. You can see I'm clicking and dragging and it's not making anything that we can see. Your layer could be hidden. So if you go to your Layers and Objects dialog from Layers and Objects, it'll bring this up and you can see we've got our layer hidden. And there's our circle, and now we can make more. By default, Inkscape won't let you draw directly into a hidden layer. So if you're having a problem where your tool is just not working and you can't figure it out, maybe it's because you're working in a hidden layer. On another note, layers themselves can have opacity. So you can see if I click this and the opacity is down entirely, that's another reason actually that the layer itself might be the problem. And it does interesting things when you make new circles. Yeah, so to fix that, just turn up your layer opacity and then you have your circles back. But wait, there's something else that can go wrong. If you have a shape and it's not making your circle, it could be that you're making a very tiny sliver of a circle or other shape. So you can see that the circle object has special handles that you can make a pie with. If you don't want this, you just want your circle back, there's a little reset button up here for your circle tool. And that button is under most other tools as well, just to reset the defaults. And that's how you get your circle back. And then all of your subsequent circles will be then nice and circular. Hope you had a bit of fun learning this with me today. If you like this video and want to learn a ton more useful tips and tricks using Inkscape for your projects, you can grab a copy of my book, Design Made Easy in Inkscape. It contains over 300 pages across 15 chapters. It's available in both ebook and paperback formats, and is an all-around excellent book to take you from beginner to expert in Inkscape using real-world design examples. Altogether, there are over 400 diagrams which I've hand-illustrated in Inkscape, and the book even covers brand new features added in Inkscape 1.3. Aside from being an excellent lesson book for Inkscape, every book sold also gives me more time to answer your questions and make new free Inkscape videos. You can also support my work directly on Patreon for as little as $3 a month. Price of a coffee, right? Your funding also supports my volunteer work in the Inkscape project to help make Inkscape easier, better, and faster for everyone. Thanks for watching, and as always, when you design, design freely.